Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
The River City Wrestling Con is happening June 8th and 9th at the World Golf Village in St. Augustine, Florida. Visit rivercitywrestlingcon.com for more information and tickets. I'm telling you right now, brothers and sisters, this is going to be the biggest and best River City Wrestling Con ever. Guests scheduled to appear include The Icon, Sting, Trish Stratus, Devon Dudley, Big Vito LaGrasso, Lita, Booker T, the Hardy Boys, and so much more. But get this, there will also be live wrestling action. Vision Pro Wrestling champion Tiffany Nieves takes on Ruthie J. We also have Scotty Sosa. We also have the gold medalist herself, the suplex queen herself, Tiny Thunley. She'll be in action. Once again, folks, World Golf Village, St. Augustine, Florida, June 8th and 9th, the River City Wrestling Con, rivercitywrestlingcon.com for ticket information. Check it out. That's right.
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Brothers and sisters, you know the River City Wrestling Con is this weekend, okay? June 8th and 9th, World Golf Village down there in St. Augustine, Florida. And one of your favorites, a guy who is a Hall of Famer, he's done it all. He's back this year, and he's going to be there both days. We are talking about Teddy Long. How you doing there, Teddy?
Hey, good morning, man. How you doing today? First thing, let me say this, man. I want to congratulate you on all the good work that you're doing, all the success you're having with your podcast. And like me and you talked earlier, you know, some podcasts I don't do because I know they're not legit, but you are legit, and that's why I'm on this podcast, and I just want to thank you for having me.
Well, I really appreciate that, Teddy. I mean, man, listen, you are one of my heroes, legitimately, as a young fella growing up in Boston, turning on the TV and seeing you, you know, in the old NWA, WCW, seeing somebody who looks like me representing our culture and doing it the right way. You've always been a businessman. You've always been diverse in who you've managed when you were a manager, you know, referee. You were in a bunch of big matches as a ref and what have you. Teddy, legitimately, you have made it easier for others to be in the wrestling business that look like us. So let me start just by giving you your flowers and saying thank you very much, Teddy. It really means a lot, bro.
Well, you know, thank you too, you know, and hopefully, you know, hopefully I have made it easier. I don't really see it, but, you know, but hopefully, you know, I did make a way or paved the way for somebody, but, you know, things are really happening. I was so impressed last night. I looked at the Bianca Belair and Jade, Cargill, the champions there, and I looked at the match they were having, and man, they looked so good last night. And I mean, like you said, seeing people that look like us, you know, that means a lot. And those girls had a great match, and they look so good on TV. That's the thing. So, and so I think the WWE is moving in the right direction. They've always have. Sometimes, you know, things go astray, but I think they're doing the right thing now, you know, for as entertainment wise and for as the audience, you know, you got everybody watching, black, white, Hispanic, everybody. And I think that they're giving everybody, you know, something, every race, they're giving it to them.
Well, you know, Teddy, we can't get Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill without Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. Doom, right?
Well, yeah, man. What a great tag team they were to manage, Butch and Ron, man. I learned so much from, God rest his soul, from Butch Reed. Because, you know, he came from the old school. He started with Bill Watts down in the Mid-South, then went to Vince. And I think Butch was the champion at one time now. I'm not sure. But anyway, like I said, I learned a lot from Butch. I learned so much from Ron too, and to manage those two guys was the highlight of my life, man.
Well, listen, I had Ron Simmons on the show not too long ago, and we were talking about his Jerry curl, which he really had a ball talking about that. And it got me to thinking, Teddy, you kind of had the Bobby Womack going on back in the day, man. You had a pretty good curl your own self, right?
Yeah, I did have that too. I didn't have nothing on the top and just had it all all coming down the sides and the back. But that's what it was back then. It was the Jerry curl days and plenty. I can't remember that stuff. We used to spray and stuff, but golly, what some gummy mess. So, but anyway, man, we made it through.
Folks, this is what we're talking about here, sharing these wonderful memories with Teddy Long, the Hall of Famer himself. And this is exactly why you got to check him out at the River City Wrestling Con. Once again, June 8th and 9th, rivercitywrestlingcon.com. Got to get your tickets. Come on now. It's almost sold out. So you got to make sure you and the whole family can get in there. Teddy, what can they expect when they see you this year?
Well, I'm going to be there, to meet and greet and talk to everybody. And I'm going to be there also with with the host of my podcast. Well, it's not my podcast. It's our podcast. It's me and Mack Davis. And I don't want to say mine because Mack Davis is the one started it. If it hadn't been for Mack, I wouldn't even be involved in podcast. So I want to thank him, for educating me. And, when I learned a lot from him about the ins and out about the podcast, then I started feeling better about it. And he asked me, Mack was a guy that was an independent wrestler. And what he did, he came around, and guys would just treat him like shit, man. Wouldn't speak to him, and he'd set his stuff up, and he'd ask him, some guys to maybe just give him a little bit of an interview. And I saw them doing that, and I kept seeing him in different places. And I'm like, man, let me go talk to this guy. And I went up, introduced myself to Mack, and me and him started talking. And I asked him, I said, what are you trying to do here? And he explained to me about the podcast and stuff. I said, man, I'll help you. And so he called me, and me and him got hooked up, and we are doing absolutely great now. And all that editing and all that stuff you see on the podcast, Mack does that by himself. He does everything, creates all that stuff. So Mack is a wonderful partner to have. And so me and him will be there with our podcast called Road Trip After Hours.
I love it. Shout out to Mack and certainly Road Trip After Hours. It's a 5-star podcast on Apple Podcasts, folks. You got to check it out. It is wonderful. They put out about one episode per week, and it's definitely a great listen there.
And we also do one for Sportskeeda. It's called The Time Machine. I do that along with Mack and Bill Apter.
Man, you're just staying busy. You're just as busy as you ever been there, Teddy.
Well, I try to keep doing stuff. Like I was telling you earlier, just as soon as me and you finish here, I'm headed to the gym here and get this workout in, man. Yeah, I can't sit around and do nothing. And like I said, people still continue to call me, for bookings and stuff. So I'm going to go as long as, I'm relevant and people want to see me, then I'm going to stay out here. And God has blessed me to get in good condition, good shape and everything. I feel great, man. So, what else is it for me to do but to enjoy the rest of my life?
I love it. Once again, Teddy Long, he's going to be at the River City Wrestling Con, folks. He will see you there June 8th and 9th. Bring the whole family. You got to see the Hall of Famer. You have a great time.
Yeah, man. Tell them that they better come on out and see me. If anybody comes up to my table and start giving me problems, then you know what it is. It's one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Strictly for the culture. Brothers and sisters, you have seen the T-shirts, the hats, the hoodies, the mugs in the hands of some of your favorite pro wrestling stars, podcasters, and influencers out there. And now it's time. Visit strictlyfortheculture.ca and you too can be part of the movement. Bigger than sweatshirts and commercial success, Strictly for the Culture aims to build with like-minded people and elevate their position in the world through knowledge, self-love, and a desire to unite. So what are you waiting on? Visit strictlyfortheculture.ca. Do it for the love. Do it for the knowledge. Most importantly, folks, do it strictly for the culture. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. Duke loves wrestling, obviously, but Duke also loves mixed martial arts, all the combat sports, and that includes boxing. And one of our good friends, okay, this is a guy who is a masshole like myself, all right? He's a New England guy like myself. He is stepping back in the boxing ring to prove once and for all that age is nothing but a number. I'm telling you, this guy is just amazing. They call him Papa Chainsaw. 64 years old, a mean, lean fighting machine. Our brother, Mr. Paul VanDale. How you doing there, Paul?
I'm doing real good today. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Like you said, I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. I'm in great shape. And Saturday, June 8th, at the Showboat in Atlantic City, Papa Chainsaw is going to take to the ring, and I'm going to give it everything I got.
I can't believe that you're doing this here, Paul, because it's a shock to people to hear that a guy 64 years old is stepping in the ring. Not just that part, but how old is your opponent?
My opponent's 24. I'm going to take him to school, old school. Age is just a number. It's just like you said. And it's all how you feel. It's all how you think. And I think when a lot of people get older, they don't have the enthusiasm or the energy when they're younger because they feel like they're older and they can't do it anymore. But you can always do it. If you got the will, you can make it happen. And I'm just, this has been my life, just always working out ever since I was young. And I went to the Marine Corps when I was 18, and I just worked out there, and I just stayed with it. I've done a lot of hard physical labor in my life, most of it as a commercial sheetrocker. So I'm just used to every day just getting out there, working hard, and I like to make things happen, and that's what I'm doing. So I like to challenge myself, and this is just what I am.
I love it. It's a hell of a story. And again, folks, official celebrity boxing at the Showboat in Atlantic City. It's called the War at the Shore 2024. Bell time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, June 8th. And mind you, this isn't just, fighting just for the heck of it. This is all to support mental health awareness. You have some folks from the boxing world, including Riddick Bowe, former world champion. You have Aaron Barkley, Aaron Davis, Mitch Blood Green. They're all going to be judges out there. This is a big event. It's a big event. It's nearly sold out. In fact, by the time you hear this, it probably will be sold out. But you can head over to officialcelebrityboxing.com to find out how you can actually watch it online. They're going to have an online stream as well. So, if you have the apps on your TV, you'll be able to check it out. It's going to be incredible. And, Paul is not just a guy who is some boxer stepping back in the ring. Paul's a former WWE wrestler. Isn't that right, Paul?
Yes, I was. I started years ago. And I trained with Killer Kowalski out of Boston. I spent 10 years with him working for his division up there, his promotion, the IWF. And then I also did some enhancement work for the WWE, and I really enjoyed it. It was quite an experience, and I'm glad I did it. And now my daughter followed into my footsteps. Actually, both my daughters, and my oldest daughter is a WWE superstar. My youngest daughter is a boxer. So one became a wrestler, one became a boxer.
So that's incredible. So your daughter is former WWE World Champion Carmella.
Yes, she is. She came back from she actually used to be a New England Patriots cheerleader. She did that for 3 years, and then she flew out to L.A. to try out for the Lakers. And she became a Laker girl for 1 year. And then when she came back, she wasn't sure what she wanted to do, but she wanted to stay in the entertainment field somehow. And I told her, well, why don't you try wrestling? And she thought about it, and then I took her to my boxing gym in Massachusetts, in Southbridge, Mass. At the time, Uptown Boxing Gym. And I had her in there doing hip tosses and snap mares in the ring there. And then she went for a tryout down in Florida. They sent her down there, and she got a contract for NXT. And from there, she worked hard and she moved her way up to the main roster. And she's had a great career. She's been here for 10 years. First ever Money in the Bank winner. She won the Women's SmackDown title. She's also got the Raw Tag Team title. and she's had a great career. She's been involved in them now for, like I said, like about 10 years, and it's been really going good for her.
It's been incredible. I mean, legitimately, at one point she was just a manager. So the fact that she was able to rise up the ranks and become a multi-time world champion and Money in the Bank winner and all, just literally one of the more beloved WWE superstars on the entire roster. Shout out to Carmella and shout out to Corey Graves, your son-in-law over there, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's why she's in Pittsburgh, and that's why we're here. Because he's from Pittsburgh, and they ended up getting married, and she moved here because she was living in Florida at the time. She has a place down there too. So, anyways, but they ended up settling up here, and he's done well too. He's a great commentator, and he's done a fantastic job with the WWE, and I know that they're really happy with him.
So tell me the truth there, Paul, because you go and you date a young lady and all that good stuff there, try to build your relationship. And then when you meet her father, he's this big hulking guy who has been a pit fighter and a boxer and a pro wrestler. He's worked in construction with his hands and what have you. A big burly guy could still step into the ring and box somebody who is young enough to damn near be his grandson, basically. The fact that Corey Graves had to meet you and convince you to give a blessing to take it to the next level with your daughter. How did that go?
Well, he came across really nice in the beginning, and I realized that he was once I get to know him, I realized he's a really good guy, and he comes from a really good family too, and we see his family out here in Pittsburgh, and they're just a real great people, and I approved of him, to marry her, and because I knew the way he was, and there was no problems there at all, So I'm just glad that she was able to find somebody that was just a great guy and somebody that can, make her happy and to spend their lives together. And they gave me my first grandchild about 6 months ago, Dimitri Paul. And he's just, I love him. He's great. It's being a grandparent it's just an amazing, feeling. And just, in this part of my life, I'm just glad I'm able to spend time with him. And that's another reason why I'm glad I moved here to Pittsburgh so I can see him all the time. And he's only 6 months old, and he's already, I'm taking him to the zoo again. This will be the second time I take him. He's already been here like 4 times. He's been here almost like every month since he's been born. I'm just so happy being a grandparent.
What a story. I love it. And shout out once again to Carmella and Corey Graves. Congratulations on the new beautiful baby. And Carmella, we miss you. We can't wait to see you out there again. We absolutely miss you out there. Certainly one of my favorites, especially because of the local connection. So it's always exciting to see Mella, because Mella is money out there. So certainly.
Yes, it is. Mella is money.
To see it. Now, you have another daughter who has followed in your footsteps as well in the boxing ring. Talk to me about your other daughter.
Yes, my other daughter, Bianca. She lives in Florida. She lives in Davie, Florida, which is right near Fort Lauderdale. She works at Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital. She's a nurse directed on there. She's done very well at nursing. And she got involved with boxing. And she trains down there whenever she can. She is busy with her schedule for work because she is directed on it. So she puts in some long days, a lot of hours. But, I'm just so proud, Duke, of both of my daughters. I think that's my greatest achievement in life. I mean, of all the experiences I've had with everything, being in the Marines and being in combat sports and also doing the construction thing. And I've also done other things like invest in real estate. And, I've owned other businesses. I've owned a liquor store for a while and just always tried different things and became successful at several of them. But my greatest achievement is my two daughters. There's no doubt about it. Because not only what they've accomplished in life in their chosen professions, they just made me so proud. Because and not only that of what they've done, but also because they're just great kids besides. And I'm so proud of both of them. And I just couldn't ask for better kids. And it makes me so proud as a parent. And my wife Emily too, who helped raise the kids. My wife's been an inspiration, and everything that she's done over the years to them. She's been a great mother and a great wife, and we're going to be celebrating our 40th wedding anniversary in about another month. And I couldn't, and I couldn't think of a better woman to go through life with. So I was lucky. I don't know how I convinced her to marry me, but she did it, and I'm glad she did. But I'm really blessed. I really feel blessed. I know we all have situations in our lives where we all have better days than others, but overall, I really feel like I've been blessed in life.
Well, you certainly have been, Paul. I mean, you must have done something really, really right in life to, like you said, you have two wonderful kids, a wonderful wife, and a beautiful, wonderful grandchild now, and you're healthy enough, still can make it work, still can get in there and kick some butt. You're healthy enough to be a guy that is fighting on a card that is so big that it'll be broadcasted to the world, and it's so big that it's going to be sold out. I mean, brother, you couldn't write a better story for yourself, huh?
I appreciate that. The thing is, even at my age, like we were saying, age is just a number, and I still get the strength, I still get the speed, I still get the endurance. The only thing is one thing I noticed, though, is that the recovery time is a little bit longer because of the age, and that's just something you really can't do anything about. But once I get to work out, or when I go to spar or fight or whatever, once I get loosened up, man, I'm ready to go. I mean, it's just like it was years ago. I feel great, and I'm saying the main thing is too is just taking care of yourself. I try to eat right, just train as hard as I can, and just try to always keep myself in shape, so that way I don't have to get in shape. I can always stay in shape. It makes it a lot easier when you have something coming up. Then gain an extra 20, 30 pounds and trying to work it back down all the time. You're better off just to always stay ready. And when you're getting closer to the event, then you turn it up a little bit, you bring it up another notch, just to try to prepare and get yourself to the best shape that you can be. And then, but that's the main thing, just like maintaining and just trying to stay ready all the time.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, folks, once again, June 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, official celebrity boxing at the Showboat, Atlantic City, War at the Shore 2024. It's the fight for mental health awareness. Our brother here, Papa Chainsaw, Paul VanDale, stepping back in the ring to once and for all prove age is just a number. And boy, he's going to make it happen against a kid who is 24 years old. You're going to discipline somebody else's kid for a change there, Paul, huh?
Yes, I am. That's yeah. But I want to say this. Before the fight, we all talk crap and everything else, and that's what you do to promote the fight. But that being said, I respect the man for getting in the ring with me, and I respect anybody who walks down that aisle, whether it's a pro wrestling ring or a boxing ring, to get in there and you put your your health on the line, because you could get an injury, and it takes courage to do that. So I respect everybody that gets into a ring. And I just want to also give a shout out to my sponsor for the fight, the John Keefe Restaurant Group out of Oakmont, PA. He's been great to deal with, and he's got a place. One of his places that he owns is called Vinny's Tavern, and it's the original watering hole in Oakmont. And they're going to be showing the fight. He's got 70 TV screens just in that place alone, and they're going to be showing the fight on every screen. So I just want to give a shout out to him too.
Well, listen, tell me more about Vinny's Tavern there. I mean, when you go there, what am I getting? If I pop into Vinny's, what am I grabbing?
It's great pub style food. I mean, you're going to get some good drinks. You're going to get some cold beer, and you get some great pub style food. You want a burger or a great sandwich? That's the place to go. The food is great, and this guy owns 8 restaurants in Oakmont. He's got some higher end places. He's got some pubs, sports bars. But like I'm saying, this place alone, he's got 70 TVs. But actually, in all his places that night, he's going to have the fight on all his TVs. So there's half of Oakmont is going to be watching that fight that night, and it's everybody's looking forward to him. So am I. That's for sure.
Well, listen, you already won, Paul. Just the fact that you're going to step in that ring and show the world that Papa Chainsaw still has it. You've already won. I love it. I love it. Listen, if anybody listening right now wants to keep up with you, what's the best way that they can do that, even beyond the fight?
Well, my social media, like I said, I'm an old school guy, but I've been trying to work it lately. And you can get me on Instagram, Twitter, and also I started a YouTube channel. You can put in Papa Chainsaw, Paul VanDale, and I'm putting out some YouTube videos that are showing positivity. I'm showing some training. I'm talking about some experiences from the Marines, combat sports, and other things that I've done in my life. But I'm always trying to get a positive message out there to everybody. And so that's pretty much where you can find me at.
His name is Papa Chainsaw, and he's an inspiration. Thank you again there, Paul.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Till next time, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Rasslin.